Anastasia.
Hi, I'm Jimmy.
And we are your Active Plus fitness team. Over the course of these videos, we're going to show you a bunch of different exercises that you can do a full body workout, including warm-up, abs. You're going to do some leg work, you're going to do arm work, full body work, a little bit of stretching at the end, and it's going to be amazing. So let's get started. All right, you guys, we're going to start right here with some nice big juicy arm circles. You're just thinking about opening up your chest and warming up your joints, so you can reverse those. If this is too much for anybody, they can always put their hands on their shoulders as well. Yeah, we're just going to keep warming up the joints right here by reaching across the body. Nothing too technical, and it's just a reach all the way. And if somebody's looking directly at you like this, encourage them to look to the side instead so that their neck and their back gets into this idea as well. From here, you can also add a little reach up and over right here. Staying really, really tall in your torso, and you're warming up your obliques with it. From here, we're going to bring that heart rate up. We're going to go into some jumping jacks in 3, in 2, and 1 right here. Opening up the arms, opening up the legs. Think of this as a continuation of what we were just doing, right? So really big arms, really big legs, and making a snow angel. If you know what that is, yeah? From here, you have another 4. We're going to go into double punches in 2 and 1. So same idea, right? We're just picking up the heart rate. You can choose any one of these exercises, all 3 of them, whatever you need, yeah? And you can always go high, you can go low, you can mix it up a little bit. What up? You can add single punches and just get something out of your system. Go, go, and we're gonna go, final thing to build up that heart rate, high knees. Yeah? Ooh. Anna, do you want to show them what they can do instead? Yeah, so you can do a double pull. You can bring your hands up. Add a little extra challenge to it, just to get everybody a little bit sauce. Nice, you guys. Shake it out right here. Breathe into it. We're going to go into a little glute and core work. Just starting out with a squat. Yeah. Shoulders back. You get to bring the heart rate back down again. And here, you want to instruct them to really sit back in a chair. So I'm going to do it sideways. You guys stay where you are, right? You want to sit back and really think that there's a chair behind you. Weight is in your heels. Your chest is open without being too arched. And then you press your hips forward at the top, yeah? Nice. You'll see a lot of people hunched over and really just encourage them to keep their heart open. From here, you can add a little twist. Hey. Hey. Nice, you guys. So, once again, we're getting that torso action in there. You're maybe adding a little balance challenge. And you're breathing. Cool. Oh yeah. Nice, you guys. We're going to find a little lunge from here in 3, in 2, in 1. Our right leg's going to go back. You're going to twist towards your front thigh, bring it forward and back, yeah? One leg back, twist towards it, forward and back. So, same idea, a little bit more advanced than that squat because we're now on one foot, really challenging the balance as we twist it out. If they really like this, if they're into it, do it in one action. And then back up. Back and twist, and up. Back and twist, and up. How you doing, Anna?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Just give me another 2. Last one. We're going to try front lunge this time. Again, a little extra challenge, because now we have to drive down to come back up. That's the main challenge with this one. So, first thing you want to do, make sure they're really solid in their lunge. Reach it up, bring it back down. Finding balance, opening up the heart. This is really good for people who are sitting down all day. To reverse a little of this action that happens, yeah? Nice. Just give me one more each side. Make sure we got it. Awesome. Let's warm up the core. Just give me a plank walkout right here, and then bring it back. So here's the main thing with plank walkout. You have 2 options. Option 1, legs are straight. You walk it out. You bring it back with legs straight. Bring it up. Option 2, bend your knees. Find that squat. Really send your head forward. Then send your tailbone back. Your choice. Whichever one's more comfortable for you and the people that you're teaching. You can also get super fancy here at the bottom. Feel free to add a shoulder tap. And bring it back. Feel free right here to add a little mix up for the hips. Bring it forward. And now suddenly you're doing a little compound movement. So that's an easy way for a lot of these. Just add a little variation here. Nice. Bring it back. This time we're just going to bring it forward. We're going to find a plank. I'm going to show you guys a runner's lunge. So come forward right here. We bring our right foot way outside of our right hand. You reach the right hand up, find a big juicy stretch. You come down, bring your right elbow right into your ankle. Reach it back up. Bring it in. You can do this as many times as you feel you need. This is considered the greatest stretch in the world. I agree. Nice. Bring right hand down. We're going to switch sides. Bring it up. And of course, if this is too much for people, you can always bring the knee down to the ground. Reach it up and down. Awesome, guys. The last two. And final one. I really like to, for my final push-up to warm up either, just have people hold a plank like this, shoulders down, the back of the neck really long, pulling your belly button into the spine, sending your heels back, and just hold that for 30 seconds. Or, excuse me, if you're feeling really dramatic, really saucy, make them do mountain climbers, 10 seconds until the end. And you can just count it down really nice and loud for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then they should be ready for everything else that you throw at them. Cool, so there's not a whole lot that you can do as far as the upper body and arms are concerned, body weight wise, but here are a few exercises. So first thing are tricep dips. And I really like to start these actually sitting on the ground. So you can see for a moment, especially if nobody has done dips before, it's going to be hard for them to get their elbows. So start right here, get people used to bending their elbows back and forth, and then bring people's hips off the ground. So they continue that idea of the elbows going back and back. And that's going to be the most important thing about teaching this move. Here's what people are going to want to do. Yeah? So really make sure it stays in the arms. Then once you get there, you can start to have fun with it. You can bring one leg off the ground. You can switch it up other leg. One is up. Then you can lengthen both legs, make sure the hips stay up as high as possible, and you can do it from there as well. This will be your hardest variation, so just know that. Cool? Let's switch around right here. We're going to do some push-ups. Actually, I'm going to stay here for you. So, right, we have our big people push-ups right here. Or if you need the modification, knees down. Here's the main thing. People are immediately going to sit back. So whichever variation you're doing, make sure your shoulders are over your wrist. Yeah? So there's not much happening in the body that changes. For our push-ups, we have straight push-ups, with the arms nice and long. You can bring them in narrow. And make sure that the elbows tuck into the chest. That'll be a little bit more tricep heavy. You can do blast off push-ups, sitting back and bringing it forward. Or if you're feeling super feisty, you guys ready? We can try some quiet push-ups. Yeah, you can have a little clap in there. Yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All the way. Literally whatever the hell you want. Yeah. We're going to try a little tricep work on the wall. So triceps, pretty much every time you bring your elbows in, it's going to be getting those triceps a little bit more. So here's a little trick for tricep push-ups because they're really hard to do on the floor. You can do them on the wall. Here are the main things. Handstand, it's your narrow push-up. You're bringing the elbows in really nice and close. The forearms are going to come down on the wall, and then you push yourself back up. So the elbows rotate in, forearms come down to the wall, you push yourself back up. It's going to get harder the lower you are. It's easier the higher you are. Either way, you keep the elbows in nice and tight. If they need it, they can come up one hand at a time. Final thing, I'm going to make you guys turn around. This one takes a little while, so this is what I like to do. Put on a song of music that's about 3 to 5 minutes long, and tell them that we're playing the game where you keep your hands up the entire time. Here's some things that you can do. 1, circles. And just make them go, keep going around my hand, all the way around. Yeah, all the way around. You can reverse that circle. Ooh. Yeah, bounce an invisible dog down. Dog, ball. Oh, invisible ball. You can turn it up, a little moment of glory. We can find swimming, so it comes down and flips back up, and this kind of gets your whole chest and your back. It's like swimming. up and over. Another variation is to bring your hands and your elbows together, press it straight up. Nice. This one, you want to make sure that their shoulders stay down, and it's just the forearms that are going up and down. If you really want to kill them though, this is where you stay with those circles the whole time. Yeah? You'll find it. It'll burn after a little while. And look at those gleaming Michelle Obama arms. Oh, done. So we're heading into the lower body. We're finding those squats right here. Just like I said in the warm-up, here are the things you want to check out for. They're going to want to hunch their shoulders, so really engaging your shoulders back, sitting back in a chair, really finding your heels, and then pressing your hips forward. Yeah, so it's all about the hips. A lot of the time we like to fall with the torso and we think we're going really, really low. Yeah, so all about the hips going back and bringing it back in. You want to soften the front of your hips, and that is what's going to allow you to go lower and lower. So this is just your regular old air squat. If you turn your feet out, you're going to go into a wide-legged squat. But you want the same idea of going back in space. Yeah? From here, you can also find a staggered squat. So you want to come back to parallel. You're going to bring whatever foot is going to be the less dominant foot towards the heel of your other foot. So I have my left foot back, right foot forward. We just find a one-legged squat right here. It's going to be just a little bit more dominant towards your right side. So same thing for the other side. We're going to bring it right here, stagger it back. So right toe back, right to left heel, you stagger it back, and you bring it back in. It's just a tiny little variation on your feet right there. Now, final thing, if you're feeling really, really spicy, you're going to find a jump squat. So you want to make sure you're actually squatting down with this one. Here's what's going to want to happen. People are going to hang out up here. You want to make sure you get really juicy. Ooh, show me the point of the toes right at the top right here. You can find little moments at the top, and then bring it back down. Yeah? Give it a little shake down. We're going into a whole lunge situation now. I want to find a stagnant lunge first and show you what's happening then. Actually, I'm going to do it to the side for you. So, you want to make sure that your foot is far enough back so that when you go down, everything's at 90 degrees. Right over your right ankle. Your heels, your torso is back. Hips and back knee are all in one line. You come up and you come back down. So that's just your stagnant lunge. All lunges, front and back, should end up looking like this. They just begin at a different place. So, coming forward to do that back lunge, you find that position by just alternating step and back. Yeah, keep your torso up, sit back in the chair, and you sit so back that you have to catch yourself with your back foot. Same thing going forward. Yes, you come forward, and make sure I'm not shocked. Hey. You come forward, you once again find that front lunge. This one is really easy to punch the knee out in front. So you really want to make sure that you're catching yourself far enough back that you don't hit that. Yeah? Cool. From here, soon, we can find a curtsy lunge. So take that right foot back behind you, you curtsy down, you bring it back up. Here's the thing with curtsy lunge. It's going to be hard for some people to figure out the mechanics of staying on the dominant side. So really make sure that the back heel is up and you're giving most, if not almost all of your weight on the front leg to bring it back up. She's got it. Nice. Now, let's see, let's do a side lunge. That's what I want to do next, side lunge. Find your balance first. Yeah, one-legged, then you fall like a tree over to the side. You catch yourself, bring it right back. Notice that my inside leg is completely straight. So I have to use the power of the right leg, use the power of the outside leg to actually launch myself back and up and over. You can begin to combo platter these. So bring it to a curtsy lunge, send it right back out again. Yeah, curtsy lunge, send it right back out again. In fact, you can do all sorts of fun things here. We're gonna have a kick right here, send it back and up. Kick it out, set it back, and up. Yeah, so then you can start to get a rhythm with it. That's really fun with these. Shake it out, you guys. So, another fun one that you can do right here, especially if you have something up in front of you, you can kick yourself over it. So, find a back lunge. You find a roundhouse kick, then you take it back to that back lunge. All the way up and over, back. This one's a really big balance challenge. So people are going to want to kind of work their way into that back lunge. Really encourage them to find the balance the whole way through. This can be really nice and slow. Yeah? Nice, you guys. Woo! Final little combo platter for you. You're gonna start in that nice wide lunge. You're gonna punch across, giving me the box lunge. You bring it back to center, punch across. Then come to center right here 2 times, hop it in and in. And this one, you can do for speed. So punch, punch, in, punch, punch, in, punch, punch, in. Nice. So this one can get really nice and rhythmic. One more, in, breathe. Because we're going to do jumping lunges. This is your grand finale of lunge, yes? So make sure you have that really nice, beautiful static lunge to begin with. And then you just keep jumping it. Yeah? I would suggest with kids, don't do more than 45 seconds max. 20 seconds is great with this one. 30 seconds is killing it. Don't do more than 45. Yeah? Okay, we got a little too big for you guys. Whew. We're gonna go right into Jane Fonda's. It's a really nice vertical move.
But your knees are ever so slightly bent. You're gonna take the right leg out. We're gonna do it just with the right side this time. And it lifts up and it lifts down. Here's the thing about this one. It's super small, right? Doesn't look super dramatic. It does not look super great, right? We like to do this because then our leg goes up a whole lot higher. But you wanna make sure that your hips are really even so that the tiny little muscle on the side of your hip is doing all of the work. After that, it's all about balance. So I like to start it out with my hands on my hips, making sure that our hips stay even. Then you can bring your hands up here. You can add a little bit of a pulse. And then you like to add a little bit of a hold right here. You're trying to stay up as vertical as possible and bring your leg up as high as possible, holding it there like a strong tree. Yeah, right here for another 3, another 2, another 1, another little variation while we're here. Let's try the other foot. You're gonna take it back and it goes straight back and up. So this is a nice way to get some minute glute work in while standing. That's kind of the whole point with this. What's gonna wanna happen again is that your torso is going to want to allow for more height to happen. You have to stay so strong in that verticality. You can add a little pulse with this one. You can bend a leg. You can add a little kick with it. Yeah, feel that? You can turn it out into an attitude so that that knee goes out and comes back in. And then you send it out like this. Like we're going into full ballet territory in case you're wondering. And you can hold it right there as well, yeah? So it'll start to burn in those glutes real fast. And that is my gift to you. After this, we're gonna do some heart rate stuff. So shake it out. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, fast feet. These are like your football drills, right? So you can do fast feet, you can bring it in, you can bring it out, but this is a really nice way to get that heart rate back up. And you wanna make sure the heels stay out. And you just go fast, fast, fast. If you wanna add a little burp in there, just tell them down, down, down. One more, down. Awesome, cut. Skaters, 2 different variations. One looks like our curtsy lunge. So the foot goes behind, it comes across. Foot goes behind, it comes across. Your option to bring the hand down to the ground. Then you have a little hop. You have a little hop. You have a little hop. Then try to keep the back foot off of the ground. Yeah? Then you want to use the arms, get a little bit more height, get a little bit more distance. And you just go, whew, nice and fast. Awesome, you guys. Shake it out. Second variation on our skater. It comes across and down. In, across and down. So this one, it comes back to the midline. We have the hop in. Hop, hop, nice. You can start to look side to side, bringing the gaze into the action. For another 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, give it a little shake out. You remember that wide second squat that we did? That's the start of this one. Just like our squat lunges, you want to find that at the bottom. You click, bring it back in. This one, a little bit more advanced. Use it for somebody a little bit older. And just allow them to go for it. The thing I like about this one is that you get all those inner thighs in the mix. Final thing, this is a high intensity move.
move without being a high intensity move. It's a great one to make them do, and you not do. Yeah, so we sit down, give me 90 degrees. Nice, you guys. So you want to make sure, once again, that our knees are right over our ankles, and that our hips are 90 degrees back. It is like you're sitting in an invisible chair, shoulders are back, you're pulling the belly button into the spine. This will also teach them some really, really nice posture. Yeah, and then you get to just sit there forever. Some people are going to want to make their legs really wide, and you just want to bring them in just a hair, Yeah, like there's a yoga block between them. Cool. Shoulders down, and then you have to tell them to breathe in this one like nothing else, yeah? Things might need to adjust, but it's gonna be all right. You guys, you wanna get out of here in another 5, in another 4, 3, 2, let's get out. We're going down to the ground. Ooh, let's face this direction. We're gonna start with some hip presses. It's a really nice, low impact way to engage the glutes. You're just gonna press your hips straight up and down. So for the beginning position on this, you want the heels roughly about where your hands are, depending on where the kids are in their development. Their legs might be really long, so that might not be possible, but you want it pretty close, so we're about 90 degrees when you get to the top. And when you're up there, you also want to find this really nice long line from your shoulders to your knees. A lot of people want to overdo it right here. You actually want to find a really nice long line so that your core and your glutes are working together. Just go down and up. That's just your straight up hip rest. If you want to get fancy with it, you can bring one leg up and just do a single hip press. You can add pulses when you get up to the top right there. You can have a hold at the top, and if you'd like, you can also lengthen the leg down and up. The main thing, you want to keep those hips up really nice and high the whole time. Nice, you guys. We're going to come down, we're going to face the camera right here. So these are clamshells. Ooh, excuse me. If you have any kind of booty band or resistance band, this is a great one to use for that. So you're just opening up the thigh and you're bringing it back down again. What's going to want to happen is everything's going to want to open up. So take your top hand, put it on your hip, or instruct them to do that so that they keep the hip bones stacked one on top of the other. You're trying to just move your thigh bone and nothing else. So this is your turn out clamshell. And then you also have your parallel clamshell. You want to flex that top foot. You bring it up and you bring it down. And I really like to, excuse me, in this one, just play marionette for them and show them what it's like to have the knee and the ankle moving simultaneously up and down. Same deal as with our other things. We can add pulse at the top right here. We can add hold at the top. All those things to add a little pizzazz. You can also add in what I like to call the Charleston. So that means knees in and you're turning it all the way in, getting that foot up as high as possible, and then turning it out. So you're really finding as much movement within your hip socket as possible for this one, and it's a really weird but kind of fun movement, and it will help you with the Charleston, I promise. Yeah, so those are the 3 movements of our clamshell. Then you can come up, and you can find a half plank. So that means that your hips are supported, and your hand can come either up or overhead, whichever one you find more comfortable. You lengthen the top leg, and then it can come up and down. And basically just lengthens that fulcrum and does the same work as we were doing with our clamshell. It's just a little bit more advanced. So you can find straight, you can pulse this one, you can find circles, again, really controlling your hip. Or you can also bring it in and out for a little core work. Nice. And then we melt it back down. I like to bring that front foot down and just slide my way back down. Again, supporting your head, and then you can do some inner thigh work from here, just bringing that bottom leg up and back down again, up and back down. This one you want to do at least, 8 to 16 reps before you'll really feel it. You can hold up there. Again, you can pulse, you can find circles, you can reverse those circles, and just do a lot of fun things with the glutes there. You Cool, you guys. So we're coming down into the ground right here. We are moving into our core, and just a quick reminder for your core, it's not just the abs, but it's also all the obliques and your back. So we're actually going to start on working our back. So we're going to come to our bellies. I'm going to face the side right here. We're just going to go into a superhuman, renamed. Yeah, reach out your arms, reach out your legs. You want to lift everything off the ground together and bring it back down on the ground. Yeah, so that's just your Superman. You want to make sure that your glutes are working, you're opening everything out, and
you want to look down on the ground right here. So you can see that, let's say I had a hook on her head. It's reaching on a super, super long diagonal so that they're not crunching their neck by looking up. So that's your Superman. You can find variations with this bad boy by coming up and finding a reciprocal tap. So right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. So that'll just tease their brains a little bit, make sure that everything is turned on. Then you can also just do the upper body or just do the lower body. So for just the upper body, I like to, flex my feet right here. Make sure they're plugged into the earth, and then just work on, the upper body. I'm like rising you up again. And then the same thing for a lower body, you just bring your hands down, bring your forehead down, and then just think about raising your legs up and down. If you want to give them a little extra challenge right here, make them squeeze their legs together. Final little thing, if you're feeling real saucy, you're going to come up to that Superman hold. And you've got to hold this up there, and then you're going to kick your legs, kick your arms, and you're applying a little rock. The boat action. When you're done with these, just make sure that you sit it back into some kind of child's pose, lengthening the back, because it can be pretty tight afterwards. Nice, you guys. We're going to swing it around right here. We're going to find some different crunch variations. Again, I'm going to go sideways so you guys can see what's happening. We're going to come down on our backs. Bring your hands behind our head. Your shoulder blades start up. So this is your starting position for your crunch, and then from there, you just go 1 inch up and 1 inch down. What's going to want to happen right away, right? We're going to want to crunch in, and we're going to release all the way down because it just feels so luscious. But instead, I want you to encourage them to stay in the movement the whole time by bringing the shoulder blades up and thinking that there's an apple underneath their chin the whole time. So this is your regular crunch. Then you can come up to tabletop, bring the feet up. You can lengthen legs all the way up. You can exhale and see if they can touch their toes, depending on how long their legs are. Some people are going to be able to get so long out. Yeah, jump your out. We'll see how far. Okay, yeah. Next, and then you can also bring your hands down right here and do a little booty pop action from that position. Nice, guys. You can also bring your feet back down. This one can be a little long to the neck, so be careful with it. You can just run heel taps side to side. I like to call these penguins because that's what I feel like. Yeah. And depending on how sticky the floor is, this one might be difficult, but it'll get some of your obliques working. Other ways that you can get into your obliques are just by folding your legs over to the side. We're going to actually go this way so that I don't hit them up. Yeah, we're going to fold our legs over this way, and then you can just find the crunch right here. And then this is not enough for them, and they want a little bit more. What you can do is you lengthen the left hand out, and then you use that left arm to come all the way up, bring it back down. So you're actually bringing your torso off the ground and bringing it back down again, bringing it up and down. And if once again, they still want more, you're going to lengthen your legs, and we're going to do it up and down. And you can even touch your toes right here. So final series of things that you can do within the core ab section are planks. So come on forward right here. Just to find your plank position, you're going to roll your shoulders back and down. You're pressing your heart away from the floor. Spread your fingers out, press your knuckles down. You're squeezing your glutes just a little bit and sending your heels back. Lots of different things are going to want to happen here. We're going to want to sag down, so you want to pull the belly button in. People are going to want to go back and up like they're doing a down dog. So you want to make sure that the shoulders are shifted forward and on top of the wrists. If the wrists ever get fatigued, just bring them down to the forearm. That's a great type of plank. But from here, you can do a lot of fun things. So you can pull it back into a down dog, take a little moment, shift it forward into your plank. So this is one that's also really nice for your warm-up. You get a little bit of a hamstring stretch, and then you can move forward and really finding a hinge, which is nice for the hips. When you come forward, we can also find shoulder taps. With this one, you want to make sure there's a nice base, feet nice and wide so that your hips don't move side to side too much. If you want to up the ante on this, you can find hip taps instead of shoulder taps, and just a tiny bit harder. Also from here, we can find a rock the plank down to our forearms and back up. Now, if this is too much for you, if you have any kind of shoulder injuries, you can just stay either in that forearm plank or in the high plank, whichever one is more comfortable for you.
Yeah? For another 3. Nice, guys. 2 and 1. Take a little moment right here. So those are a bunch of things that we can do on our straight arm plank. We're going to come down to our forearms now and find some different variations there. So same deal with our forearm planks as we had for our high plank. You want to make sure the shoulders are now over the elbows, your glutes are engaged, and you're sending your heels back. From there, we can do little hip circles side to side, or rainbows as I like to call them. Just a little tap, and just a little tap. The feet can go to the side, and you're finding a little bit of oblique action. From here, you can also just find a little front and back scissor, really stretching out your calves, or you can hook one foot over and just find a single-legged plank. And that's a nice kind of segue into a side plank. We are here. So, I'm gonna find right here. It's really nice to sag down in this one. So you really want to think hips up. And a nice way to introduce that is just by saying the hips down and back up again. If the side plank is ever too much for somebody, I like to bring the top foot forward so they can really feel what it's like to have the bottom part of that side plank engaged. So, one variation, right? Hips down and back up. You can also thread the needle, bring that hand down, reaching it back up. And then you can also be like, find a little balance right here. You want to bring the top arm bicep by your ear, reach the leg up, and hold it there for a juicy 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find a little moment, you guys. Yes, how are we doing? Shake out. How's the shoulder? Okay. Let me know. So we're going to do some kind of back-to-back work. If it's ever too much for your shoulders, keep it simple. Find the forearm plank. You don't need to do all this saucy with niceness, but it is fun. Yeah, so here's some things that you can do. Finding that forearm plank, finding your side reach. You're going to dive the hand underneath like you're doing the thread the needle. You just bring the other hand up. And then that gives you a little bit of that side to side action, reaching it up and finding your balance. You can also, from here, either in a forearm or in a high plank, reach arms, find a little balance, or reach your legs. 1, and then the other, or you can do a reciprocal reach where it's the right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Yeah, so just a few variations on the thing. Cool, so just a couple really juicy full body exercises for you guys. First one is a push-up tap, but you can do a really nice slow countdown. So you can count down from 10, from 20, really make them hover and hold those last 5 seconds. You release, bring it back in. You have to brace to push yourself back up. So the whole idea of this is that it's really a moving plank down. You tap it down, bring it back and up. So it's really juicy, core-centric full body move. Yeah, so that's number 1. Break dancers are a little complicated. Again, really nice, beautiful core workout. So you want to find just knees hovering for this one. This is your base. So I always tell them they can come back here and they can stay here if they want to. But if they want to go for the full break dance, so you're going to bring your right foot off. It's going to dive underneath your body. You're going to bring your left hand off. And if you can't hover that foot, you bring it back down. If it's too much to hover it, you can always bring the foot down to the ground. Yeah? But you're just alternating, sending the leg across, and bringing it back in. What's going to want to happen is that they're going to want to go all the way to the back. So you really want to send your energy straight through and straight through. And as you get comfortable, you can begin to speed it up. And if you get really comfortable, you can add a little hop. Nice, you guys. For another 3, 2, last one. Staying nice and low, we're going right into Frogger. So for this one, you want to really bring your feet outside your hands, hips stay low, hands come down. So it goes back to that plank, feet come in, hands come off. You're trying to keep your hips as low as possible. So this is a really juicy squat moment. Nice. Lift it all the way up, give it a little shake out. Ooh, I lied. We're going straight back down to the Turkish again. So, this is one you're really going to have to talk people through. So just know, this is for further down the line and a little bit more advanced. If you have something to hold, it can be whatever, a tiny little weight, it really helps with this one. But you lay it all the way down. You keep your right hand up over your shoulder the entire time. Right foot comes in, it stamps down. Now, left hand is going to go out to the side, and you're going to use that to sit yourself up. Look up at your right hand. You're getting up really nice and tall. Use your left hand to bring your hips off of the ground. You tuck your left knee underneath you. You come up to kneeling, and then you stand all the way back up. So that's a full move. We do it in reverse. Knee comes down. Left hand comes down. You look up at your right hand. You tuck the left foot forward, bring it all the way down. Keep the hands straight up overhead. Sit up. Find your lunge, and then stand all the way up. You bring it down, and then send it out. So this is their choreography, basically. Yeah, and that's what makes this one kind of fun and kind of nice. If you can get a weight overhead, it makes a really nice challenge for stability, especially in the shoulder. Cool? That's your Turkish give. From here, we're gonna do a little balance work. So let's start right foot off the ground. If you want to, you can make it as simple as having them close their eyes with their hands over their chest. So by bringing the hands over the chest, makes everything harder. Yeah? You can always have people have it out here if they're feeling really unstable, but see if you can have your hands right here, closing your eyes for 30 seconds. It's a beautiful exercise. If they want a little extra something, this is what you can do. Dive your right hand down, and then come up, left hand forward. Right hand comes down, left hand comes forward. You're challenging your gaze to look down at the ground and bring it up forward. If you want to add a little hop action into it, we're gonna go a little slide, hop down to the ground. So balance, tap, in. So you're challenging their landing mechanics. And then, if you want to later, you can see how far you can go and still keep your balance. All right, you guys, I've given us a lot of breaks because we're going into our final thing. We're gonna do 10 seconds of burpees for you, but I'm gonna break it down first. Yeah, so your burpee, start at the top, your hands come down. If they need to walk it, they can walk your feet back one at a time. You bring your chest all the way down, then you explode all the way back up. It's like that frogger. You hop up, yeah? So this is what I want you to think. Hands, feet, up. That is your burpee. We're gonna do it in two, and one, go. Up. Down, explode it up. Yeah? See if your momentum, can you bring it all the way back to the top? And then you're just breathing. Then you're just living. Another 3, 2, 1. And let's stretch. So we're gonna start from the head down right here. Just bringing the right arm across. This is a nice moment to have people catch their breath. So it's good to not start the stretch folded over in any way. You really want to keep the heart open. You can find a tricep stretch right here. If they're really flexible, because little kids are, you can have them grab it from behind. You want to make sure the rib cage is closed. Yeah. Switch it up to the other side. Really nice and quickly, you bring that hand across. You open it up. You bring it behind. If you want to challenge their balance, you can also grab that back foot for a little bit of a standing quad stretch. You want to pull the belly button into the spine. The knees get really close, and then gently you pull the knee behind you. You don't want it to get into the low back, because then you're really just stretching your back and not your quads. Swing the leg forward, and then you're going to turn out the opposite foot, so you can grab the bottom of your right, pull it back for a calf stretch. And it's also a how do you do, mademoiselle moment. Yeah, they'll all be bowing down to you, and it'll be great. You can plant that foot down nice and easily and find a sitting lunge. If it's too much for the back knee, you can always make it a full lunge, but that's just harder. Know that, yeah? It's more for them to do. You're gonna wanna press your hips forward without exploding everything, so still pull the belly button in as you press forward, and you just need a little bit of that engagement of the core so that they don't sink into their joints, because they are gonna be really flexible in that way. Hands come down, you send the hips back for a runner stretch or a hamstring stretch. If you can get people to pull their toes back, they'll get deeper into their calves and into their hamstrings. Nice, guys. Come forward right here. You're gonna flex the back foot behind you, just straighten it up. One more little triangle stretch. From here, it's pretty easy to just step the left foot forward, the right foot back. and kind of go into the whole thing. I'm not gonna make you guys do it right now. So we've done all the things. Step it forward, hang out right here, shake up the head, no, nod it, yes. Bend your knees, and then just have them gently roll all the way up. This is a really nice moment to create something that's unique for your class, some kind of closing thing. I always like to have the shoulders back, a big juicy stretch up and over, but you find your ritual that really helps, yeah. Kids like something that stays the same amongst all that chaos, so feel free to be that for them. Cool, thank you guys.